If you haven't already, please consider watching part 1 of this. Link will be in the description. This is the continuation of our telling of Apple Store's success, failures, and its modern world influence. How it revolutionized the world of technology, business, and more, from just the brains of two young inventors. This is the history of Apple, part 2. 1984, a dystopian and science fiction story depicting a totalitarian government and a chaotic and disorderly society. A cautionary tale built around the idea that people are always watching us, listening to us wherever we go, and controlling and monitoring every one of our movements. And so began 1984, the year, not the book. Apple took advantage of the times and turned it into one of the mostly viewed advertisements of all time, an advert that showed why Apple was not just an inferior company, but why it deserved its place in the ever-growing world of technology, and why the Macintosh would change history. Despite the game-changing advertisement at possible at one of the biggest sporting events worldwide, the result of the Macintosh was underwhelming. With many other companies producing computers with faster speeds and more advanced features, the Macintosh was left in the dust. No matter how hard Apple hoped for a comeback on our underdog story, by 1985 it was clear that Apple had lost its crown. Things could not get worse. Come early 1985, two-year Apple CEO John Sculley decides he wants to take the company another direction, a direction that neither Jobs nor Wozniak had wanted to go when they made the company, a direction that meant sacrificing two brilliant minds that started Apple in the first place, and quite literally, nothing. Wozniak left Apple in early 1985, but still represented them in interviews and events, earning around $120,000 a year. This initiated a power struggle between Jobs and Sculley, eventually leading to getting ousted from all operational duties in April 1985, after Sculley realized Jobs was attempting a coup. Jobs remained as chairman of Apple, a role with no real power, until his resignation in September of 1985, taking multiple Apple employees with him, starting Next Incorporated. Jobs also sold all but one of his 6.5 million shares in Apple for $70 million, and then invested heavily in a visual effects studio, Pixar. Next was another computer company which focused on more specialized computers for business and higher education purposes. The company never really took off, with only around 50,000 sales in total. However, Next will majorly influence the UI sectors and OOP. With Pixar, Jobs became a major investor and basically owned the whole company until the collaboration with Disney, and years later Jobs sold his shares and left Pixar in 2006. From 1985, Apple started to go into a spiral of chaos, even nearly reaching bankruptcy in the 1990s. Apple, the company once known for innovative and game-changing ideas, was merely trying to recreate the past glorious inventions of Jobs and Wozniak. It had seemed that despite the hardships it faced, Apple had lost its magic. It had lost anything that made it remotely special. It had lost everything that made it Apple. But that all changed in 1997 with the return of one Steve Jobs. After years of altercations of power, all had seemed lost, but now with Jobs at the helm, the company began to take off with its inventive and revolutionary ideas that the company was known for. That online Apple Store was introduced in November 1997, which meant Apple could sell computers directly to consumers. Jobs' partnership with one of the only other technological conglomerates that have reached a level of success like that of Apple, Microsoft, and finally the new family of innovative and creative inventions that Apple will become known for today. The first of which being a big step for Apple, the iMac, the great descendant of the Macintosh and the great ancestor of Apple's modern days computers. A product with extraordinary display and CPU that began pushing Apple up in the ranks, and without 1 million units being sold per year since its release. Now comes the iBook, another well-designed product, which eventually gave way to the popular MacBook, and again with outstanding results. Apple was on a roll with these products, and they were not about to stop now. And here we have the original iPod in 2001, an easily portable device designed for listening to music wherever you are. Other than the Macintosh, the iPod is likely to be the most influential in Apple's track record, inspiring the creation of Apple's most profitable and universally adored products, like the iPad and the long series of iPhones. 2001 was proving to be an excellent year for Apple, with a wildfire-like spread of Apple retail stores nationwide, pushing Apple to the most recognizable technological firm of all time. Whilst Apple refined and polished their newer version of both iMac and the iBook, by 2003, Apple's retail stores were expanding to different continents and the iTunes Store was released, establishing Apple as a successful worldwide corporation.